Good morning. Good morning to everybody. Coach Burt, Thursday, August, what day is today? 23rd, 24th? Hope you guys are doing great. Every Tuesday, Thursday, almost every day, I like to bring you a short coaching session, short video. Sitting right here in my bungalow last night with Thomas C Davidson, and we had just had dinner. They brought dinner in, Daniel Hodges, and we were talking about in the old days how it all started with my speaking career. And I was telling him how in the old days I worked for a company, Robert Martinez, called Skill Path, and I wanted to speak, I wanted to coach, but I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go, Nick Redmond. I didn't know what to do. I knew I wanted to do something, okay, but I didn't know how to do it. I had a dream, I had a vision. I want to travel the world. I want to speak, Mike. I want to coach people. Like this is my vision, man. This is my dream, but I have no idea how to do it, Brian White. So I went to an event. This is exactly how it happened. I went to an event, and a woman was teaching leadership or something, and as I sat in the back, Cynthia, and I watched, and I saw with my eyes. That's pre-drive activation. And I sat in the back and I said, I can do this. I don't know how many of you out there have ever said that about something. Kimberly Skinner, good morning. And I said, man, I can do this. I can do this. And when that conference was over, I walked right up to that woman and I said, how do I do what you do for a living? And she said, Jay Cash and Frank, she said, well, just call the corporate office. But she really didn't pay any attention to me. But I went home and I called the corporate office. They said, send in a video. So I went, shot a video. I sent in a video. Then I traveled to Kansas City. And then they hired me to be a trainer. And I was telling the guys last night, Judge Davenport, that then they sent me to all these obscure cities. I used the word tertiary, which means outside markets, small markets. Plattsburgh, New York, Ithaca, New York, Utica, Portland, Maine. And I was talking about how I would fly into a city and United Airlines would cancel a flight like at 10 o'clock at night. I'd have no way to get to my next city. So I'd literally rent a car. This is back before Google Maps. I would drive to the 300 miles in the middle of the night, and I would teach an 8-hour seminar the next morning. And I would sell the books, and I'd do the seminar. Man, I'd get up, and then I'd drive 200 or 300 miles to the next city and do it again. And I would do that 5 straight days. Folks, that is sucking the sour to get to the sweet. Okay? We look at people today and we go, man, I'd like to do what they do, or man, I'd like to have a life that they have, or man, I'd like to do this. And we forget. There's a cycle that my buddy Tim Story talks about. There's crawl, walk, and run. Well, everybody today wants to go from crawling to running, but that's not how it works, man. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The price must be paid and the process must be followed. If you never go through that, you never get good enough to command the money you need, because your skill set is not strong enough, because you skipped a step. There's steps in apprenticeship. So for me, when they asked me how much I made $250 a day. Okay, remember, in a city I know no one, Kevin Jones. In some tertiary market, Florence, Alabama, Meridian, Mississippi. Man, I went to markets, folks. They don't look like this right here. And man, I just went in there for 8 hours, coaching my little heart out. And I never saw it as a bad thing. I never asked for more money. I never looked at it as a negative. I thought in my mind, man, I'm going to college. And they're paying me to go to college. They're paying me $250 to go to college. And I'm going to college, okay, plus the $40 per diem. You can't eat a nice steak on $40 per diem, man. And so I was, as Dabo Swinney says, man, sucking the sour to get to the sweet. Now, why is this critical for so many people who are out there watching this today? Is because that's where, when you hear me talk about working the muscle, man, that was working the muscle. That was learning. They didn't have Google Maps. I had to use one of those old maps. And if you know me, I'm so geographically illiterate, man, I was lost all the time. And I would do that for 5 straight days. And then on the 5th day, man, I would get on a plane and I would go back home. And I didn't even want to see people. I didn't want to talk to people. I didn't want to be around people. Like, I had my fill of coaching people for the week. So if you're out there and you're in that cycle right now, and you're in that sucking the sour to get to the sweet cycle. And you're trying to figure out, when's the sweet side going to come? Number one, it ain't never going to come. But you can tell yourself it is. But number two, it's all valuable, man. There is no wasted movements in life. Every good, every bad. I was going back and forth with my editor on this book yesterday about emotions. And she kept saying, well, what, be clear on your own thing. Emotions there is no good or bad. To some people, anger is a negative. To some people, it's a positive. Some people do something with it. For some people, rejection is a negative. For some people, it's a positive. And my point, Robert Martinez, was, man, look, it's all in how you use it. I thought I was in heaven, man, doing those seminars, making $250 a day. I loved it. I loved every second of it, right? Now, because that was part of this cycle to get to where I am today, man. So just know, whatever you're doing in life, wherever you are, my role as a coach is to guide you. My role as a coach is to help you move from A to B. But sometimes my role as a coach is to, what you're seeing me here in this place, man, is 30 years of grinding. That's what you're seeing. 30 years of just pure push and grind and no wasted movements and just pushing, man. Every day, just pushing, just pushing, just push. And not wanting to let other people down, man. So I encourage you. Dabo Swinney said this, you got to suck the sour sometimes to get to the sweet, man. And there is no job that is beneath you on the path to get to where you're going. Because every job, see, I sold the books, set up the tables, got the room ready, plugged the PowerPoint in, drove the car. You know why? Because I needed to know how to do every one of those things. Today when I go speak, when my team sets the books up, I'm like, no. You got to set the books up like this, and you got to set them up like this, because I learned this back when I was out on the tour with these great trainers that knew how to set books up that look good. I learned this, right? And I'm coaching a guy, and he spoke to a big audience last week, and he said he was nervous in the beginning. And I said, man, these big events, they battle test you, man. They battle test you. They get you ready. They get you ready. Boom. They get you ready faster. That's right. That's right, Kevin. There are accelerators, man. Don't think for 1 second there's not accelerators in life. There are shortcuts. It's by who you know and what they can teach you and how they can speed the cycle up. Right, Steve Brock? So you guys have a great day, man. See that mountain over there? We're going to hike up that mountain this morning. So it's going to be our exercise this morning. So you guys have a great day from St. Lucia. I got one more day in paradise, folks, and it has been paradise. So thank you for watching. Everybody needs a coach. It's like the sour to get to the sweet.